I'm basically raising my car an inch and putting my winter tires on. Basically what has happened is that obviously the car was pretty flipping low. And what I'm doing is, as I said, raising it. But the way that I'm raising it is I'm going to loosen the bottom bolt that goes through the shock, and then spinning the shock body down at the bottom. I'm going to spin the bottom of the shock body down by an inch. So as you can see, right about there, so you can see those bottom collars there, right? So as I was saying, so you can see the bottom shock collar here. What I'm going to do is loosen this bolt here, which is a 19 mil. So I'm going to put a 19 mil socket on this side and then gun it off while I put a wrench on that side, loosen it, and then obviously mark the collar, or mark the threads on the shock body, I believe it's called, or whatever, and then lower it by an inch. So basically, essentially spinning the whole shock body down an inch, which will raise the vehicle up by an inch, and then lock this on. So right now what I did is basically sprayed the threads with some PB Blaster. That way it can loosen up the threads. I know it's not going to be seized or anything like that, but it's just for safer measures to make everything a little bit easier and quicker. And also I'm going to clean up some of this gunk with a wire brush and then spray it again. Okay, I broke it free. So 19 mil socket on my gun. Trying to do this one hand is not that easy, but I'll try. And then it's supposed to be a 19 mil wrench, but I only have a 3/4. So I don't think my gun can fit on this side here. So what I'm gonna do is put the wrench here and then the gun on the other side, and then blast it off. And then I'm going to take this bolt out. Let's try to do this. So bolt came out, as you can see there, nice and easy. Obviously place that down there. So as you can see, my problem is the arm naturally wants to rest a little bit lower than where my suspension is set up. So I'm going to have to basically push this bolt back inside and then loosen this off, or as I said, crack this off and then spin the shock body down. Okay, so now that's loose, this is loose, right there. Spin that collar back down. And then basically I'm going to spin this collar down to an inch of space from that collar. I'm going to try and not basically adjust this at all, so that way I know for sure where it was beforehand, and then spin it down by an inch and a bit. I gotta get some PB Blaster and blast it inside there because these threads are kind of crusty. So as you can see, PB Blaster always works on everything that I use. One thing for sure though, PB Blaster does not taste that great. So don't spray it in your mouth, guys. And then let's skip to it. Okay. Once again, this is not the most accurate way of doing it, but take my measuring tape, line it up. So let's see here. So far it's just under an inch. So I probably gotta spin it a few more turns, and then we'll get it exactly to an inch, and then I'm gonna lower that collar down, lock it in, slam the wheel, and then we're good. Okay, so we got it there. Now I'm gonna basically, I probably should just spin this down, but honestly, here, we'll just do it for the fun of it. But yeah, spin that down, then I'm gonna lock it in with the coilover too. That one's stuck. Lock this in. See, that's another reason why I wanted to basically put that bolt back in. That way this doesn't spin while you're tightening that. But it's low enough inside there so it won't spin at all. So Get it nice and tight. I've never had these ever spin off on me. I've owned a couple cars with coilovers and never had an issue with them spinning. I guess that's just for added security, but whatever. Either way, so basically now I'm gonna align this. So I'm using my freaking shoulder to do so. So yeah, shake it up and down. Almost through. There we go. So there, let's push through. And there's that. Get this nut, put it on the back, and there you go. Tight on here, that's tight. What I always like to do is basically go back over and double check my work. That way, you know, you don't make a mistake. Try to put this on. There you go. And that's it. When I first lowered the car, I lowered it so much that I needed a jack to basically jack up the car and then put it up on the hoist. So I'm gonna see how much of a difference it is now. Just gotta pull these hoist locks. Well, gotta put it up now, but we'll see how low this car actually is now after I raised it right up by an inch. And also, these tires are slightly bigger, as I showed you guys before. They're 215 40 or 215 50 17s. It's supposed to be 45. See how much lower it is? Oh, whoa. Oh, that's a lot higher. That is a lot higher. Jeez. That's much higher. My quarter panel used to sit like right about there. If not directly flush. If it wasn't flush, it was like maybe just a bit lower. Just a bit. Hopefully I can still go lock to lock. Yeah, that's much lower, much higher. Jeez. I was never able to kick these arms out.